In the last 3 years, I haven't cooked once. In that time, I've built my dream physique and I'm now maintaining it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I do for myself and with a lot of the guys that I work with to make sure that you are driving the results that you crave while living on easy mode. It's all about consistency. It's all about routine. We're living in a time of serious accessibility. Use this to your advantage. It's never been easier to drive consistency and routine. For myself, what I do, I live the same life, especially Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday is a bit more flexible for sure. This is more so about building that routine, especially Monday to Friday. So for myself, it's the same no matter where I am in the world. So I usually live in Dubai. I'm now in Bali. I'll be in Ireland again from Friday. It's going to be the exact same routine wherever I go. Now, this is more applicable to people that are working remotely, but this is also very applicable to you no matter what your situation is. It's all about finding that routine that drives results and takes the thinking out of it. Put your life on easy mode. Eat for purpose, but pleasure and enjoyment. I enjoy every single meal that I have, even though there's repetition within it. You understand the power of consistency and repetition when it comes to business. That is always the biggest driver of success. Same when it comes to your physique. Take the thinking out of it. Go on autopilot. It's very simple once you find your routine. So for myself, it's very simple. I base myself in a gym that I enjoy the equipment, but more importantly, there's a meal prep company within there that makes it so easy to have it macro counted, fit into exactly the needs that I have when it comes to my calories, my protein, so on and so forth. I find a breakfast that I really enjoy. I find a pre-workout meal that's full of carbohydrates, that fuels performance. I always train at 1:30. I know that's not possible for everybody, but I work remotely and I make sure that I always fit that in there. I like to have a couple of meals before I train, plenty of hydration, train at 1:30, back to work from 3 o'clock. And then I have my post-workout shake, 2 meals later on as well. Easy. I haven't cooked once in 3 years. Within that time, I have went in gaining phases, fat loss phases. I've done 3 photo shoots in this time, and not once have I cooked. Now, am I demonizing cooking? Not for 1 second. If you have the time and you're able to do so, crack on. You find your system that works for you. I'm showing you my system that works for me and that I do with a lot of the guys that I work with as well. So every single one of the meals I enjoy. I absolutely cannot wait to have. For breakfast, it's a toasted bagel, chicken patty, sour cream, 3 whole eggs, fruit. That's my breakfast. For pre-workout then, it's rice, sourdough bread, honey, chicken breast. That's it. I enjoy every single one of them, every single one of them components. Absolutely love it. So this is the way it needs to be as well. You need to enjoy all of them, but I'm eating for a purpose. You know, my first meal of the day is decently high in fat, good amount of carbs, good amount of protein. Pre-workout meal is really high in carbs, decent amount of protein as well. So on for the rest of the day. You need to find your system, but enjoy every single one of them meals. And then I just don't need to think about it. I don't think about it at all. First day I go to the gym when I'm using that meal prep company, I'll bring my food scales with me just to make sure that it's exact. Once I know that it's exact, I have a little chat with them, make buddies with them lads as well. It's always a good idea to do so. Once everything's dialed in, this is the breakfast that I have, this is the pre-workout meal that I have, this is the intro workout, this is the post-workout, these are the other 2 meals that I have later on in the day. Happy days. I can focus on my training at my most optimal. I can focus on my career. I can focus on my business. I'm working on the laptop. I basically get to the gym at 8 a.m. and I leave at 7 p.m. I train at 1:30. That's my life. This is the life that I set up with a lot of the guys that I work with that are working remotely and a similar situation to myself. It's obviously not going to be everybody. I totally get that. But find the system that's going to work for you. Even if you're in an office job, even if you're working from home, meal prep companies and the accessibility of them is making life so much easier. As I said, I'm not telling you not to cook, but if your life is so busy, you got to weigh up. What is your time per hour? If it is smarter for you to use a meal prep company that is truly measurable, it drives performance, it drives results, and it gives you back time, I don't know. To me, that just sounds like a measurable business and physique decision that you are making for yourself. This is what I do. This is how I set up my life. When I'm in Dubai, I have this set up. I pick up that life, I bring it to Bali. Friday I'm going back to Ireland, I'm literally going to pick it up and put it there as well, because it drives consistency when it comes to my business, and it drives consistency when it comes to my physique, and I don't need to think about it. Weekends obviously can be more flexible, all good. We understand energy balance. Travel is a different situation. Thursday, Friday, I'm going to be traveling. Of course, I'm not going to be locked into this. I've got a different video on them topics. This is more so about what you're usually doing when you're working, when you're driving your business, when you're in your usual routine. This is about finding the system that works for yourself, that you enjoy every single meal, snack, drink that you have, but it is driving the results when it comes to your physique goals as well. You're eating for a purpose. Yes, there's enjoyment in there because you look forward to every single one. But the biggest thing is that you're taking the thinking out of it and you are living life on easy mode. Honest to God, people have asked me about my physique in the last 3-4 years. I just say to them, it's not that difficult when you have your routine locked in. I pretty much have the same day, the same food, on the laptop, driving business, driving my physique, driving performance in the gym. I don't think about it. It's not that difficult at all. I love to train hard, and that's going to be another topic as well that we can talk about when it comes to getting your physique. This is surrounding the most important factor, which is nutrition, and making sure that you are easily able to follow it over everything else. Flexible dieting is fantastic when you're trying to understand how to navigate social events, if you do travel a ridiculous amount, which I know a lot of you guys do, and also in the future when you don't want to be so regimented with your system. But also, this system could work for you for the next 30, 40, 50 years. It's just dependent on the individual and what you want. Because I can pretty much guarantee you, if you are to get your dream physique from this routine, what got you there is going to keep you there. It's the same for myself. When I've built my physique in the last 3 or 4 years, my physique has went to the next level by not cooking, by having this system in place, by taking the thinking out of it and putting my life on easy mode when it comes to driving performance and results. Find what's going to work for you. I work with a lot of people's EAs when they're in like C-level roles and that. We make sure even when they're traveling that they have a meal prep company, that they're able to stay on point and on track no matter what the situation is. If you're using a meal prep company, you're working from home, same thing again. This is what I have for breakfast, this is what I have for lunch, so on and so forth. Find what's going to work for you. I'm not saying you have to situate yourself in a gym and work from your laptop there like I do. Some of the guys that I work with do. But it's all about finding yours. Maybe it's in a cafe that's macro counted, or you know exactly what each meal is. Because not every single restaurant or cafe is going to have the macro counting. That's why I say bring the food scales with you, just to make sure, because once you have that dialed in, and now there can be variability with it as well. Like every restaurant, like a chef will make it a little bit differently, and there's going to be a little bit more in this and a little bit. When you simplify that, you have foods that are easy to measure. That's probably the biggest thing with it when it comes to making sure you're on point with your nutrition. But it will be the consistency and that routine that you predominantly follow that is going to get your results. And you don't even need to think about it. That's the beauty of it. When changes need to happen, changes happen. If I need to lose some body fat, I just pull some carbs out. When I'm trying to put on more size, I put some more carbs in. Protein stays the same. Fat pretty much stays the same. It's easy. It's so easy. I understand you may not be able to follow the same system as me. Be in a gym, be in the cafe from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m, train at 1:30. I understand that, I get that. Maybe you need to train first thing in the morning. Get your peri-workout nutrition on point, and then make sure the rest of your day you can have it accessible to you. And it is accessible to pretty much everybody. If you're living in a first world country now, fitness is absolutely booming the last few years. These meal prep companies are everywhere in the world now. There's so many of them here in Bali. There's hundreds of them. Find one that has a good quality, that is truly measurable and is consistent. That's probably the biggest thing with it as well. Find one where there's real consistency with it, whether you're ordering it in, whether you're at that cafe, no matter what the situation is. No matter what phase you're in, you are able to do this as well. If you're in a muscle building phase, you're in a slight calorie surplus, you're able to follow this. If you're in a fat loss phase and you're trying to maintain muscle, you can easily follow this. This is the reality of the situation. It's finding the system where you take the thinking out of it, you enjoy every single meal, and you just follow it like clockwork. Once you take that thinking out of it, it's the same as business. You find your system that works for you, that drives results. Yeah, it might be repetitive. Yeah, it might be, in some people's eyes, boring. You know yourself with business, boring drives results. Same with your physique. Understand nutrition, gain knowledge on it, know how to have flexibility, know how to navigate social events, how to navigate travel. But what you're doing predominantly day in and day out, make sure it's driving results without having to think about it massively. That's what kills a lot of people. It's the selection, it's the flexibility that nearly kills people. Of course, understanding flexible dieting is brilliant, fantastic. But when it comes to driving results, you want to take the thinking out of it. It's just, this is what I have for breakfast, this is what I have for pre-workout, this is what I have post-workout. And the days clock in. And them days just compound over time. You look back at the week, you look back at the month, you look back at the quarter. Holy shit. That routine that I had dialed in is truly driving results where I don't need to think about it. I just do this day in and day out. Of course, there's times where I'm going to need flexibility, client dinners, travel, whatever it is. But this routine that I've found for myself is driving the results, no matter what phase that I'm in. And as I've said to you, I've been in muscle gaining phases in this time. I've been in fat loss phases. I've been in photo shoot preps within this time. I've done 3 photo shoots in the last 3 years without cooking once. Without cooking once. But I make sure that it is measurable. I have to be careful with that, and I definitely do want to preface that as well. Have your food scales. Just make sure it is what they say it is, because these places are legally able to have 25% discrepancy with the calories and macros that they're putting on their menus and stuff like that. So do be wary of that. Do be sure that once you get all of that locked in, no matter where you are, as I said, I do this in Dubai, do it in Bali, going to be doing it in Ireland from Friday onwards. It drives results. I'm eating for purpose, enjoyment. I enjoy every single part of it. And I make sure that I have that locked in. Once I have that dialed in, happy days. We're cracking on with business. We're cracking on with the physique. Life moves on. Don't even need to think about it. It's in easy mode. If any of this resonated with you, please click the link in the bio. I'd love to have a chat with you. Find a routine that's going to be able to work for you, that drives results. But most important thing is that you got some value from this. So find your routine, stick with it, live life on easy mode.